let's begin making the terracotta set. We start off with making a slab of 0.6 centimeters in thickness. Smoothen the slab using the fettling knife. This is a triangular shaped cookie cutter. I cut out the shape and I smoothen this particular piece. I'm doing most of the designings or rather the pattern on this is done using very basic tools, just using my knife, the smaller size cookie cutters to get in the 3 semicircular shapes over here. Using a little nozzle. You can also use a ballpoint pen refill to make this kind of a pattern or a design. Now I have shown this method of using a straw and just press the top, and just basically cut it in a diagonal shape to get this kind of a petal form. A couple of stick beads on the side, and then I've also added a ghungru bead at the base. Now let's start making the earrings. The earring, obviously the slab thickness is 0.25 centimeters. Smoothen it, and I have another triangular cookie cutter here. Just cutting out a pair for the earrings. I make a similar design as I made in the pendants. It's really easy. The ghungru beads again for the earrings. So if you see, the clay part is at least done. We let this dry, and once it's dried, it's fired in an electric kiln, and after that we can begin painting upon this. So if you see, the piece is fired, and I've also laid out the paints and the brushes. The paints are just antique gold, yellow ochre and crimson, which is like a deep red, and the brushes are mostly going to be the liner brush and probably the size 2 or a size 4 brush. There are a bunch of these small 4 to 5 mm beads. First we paint them. So half of them, that's 20 of them, are painted in the yellow ochre. Once again, if you are allergic, please don't use your hands. You can just paint each of them using a paintbrush. And the rest is going to be in the deep red or the crimson color. So if you see, 20 of them in crimson and 20 of them in yellow ochre. Now the base color of the pendant as well as the earring is going to be the deep red or the crimson. The stick beads and the ghungru beads in antique gold. It just says antique gold. It looks a lot like gold itself. So this is typically how I paint most of the ghungru beads or the stick beads. I first paint the front part. After that's dried, I just paint the back part of it. This is a little bit of yellow ochre. The rest of the designs on the pendant as well as on the earrings are all done with a liner brush using yellow ochre. For all these finer details, all these little designs, I think a liner brush or even a 000 brush would be great. Please keep in mind that I have actually diluted the paints, and if you see, the painting part is all done. Once the paint has completely dried, it's time to varnish. This is the product I use. Give it a good shake and transfer a little bit of the contents into a bowl or a container and apply a generous quantity all over. Even though this is a quick drying varnish, I let it dry for some time because I don't want anything to be sticky. Let's begin assembling now. That's a gear wire. That's a crimp bead. You've seen me do this method, but I will still show it if you are, if any of you are new to my channel, probably, this might help. So I put the crimp bead through the gear wire and then through a jump ring. This is a heavy gauge jump ring. Pull it through and give it a good press. Please make sure that this is done really well and securely because this is what holds the entire necklace. I cover the crimp bead with a crimp cover. If you see, it already looks like a beautiful gold bead, and the manner in which I'm assembling this is going to be with the help of these gold beads. So it's going to be one crimson followed by one tiny little gold metal bead, then a yellow ochre bead, then again a gold bead. So that's how I'm assembling the entire necklace. Now this one is an Egyptian cotton thread or a cotton cord, and I'm going to be taking about 24 inches into 8. So if you see, there are 8 such strands that I have taken. I put it through the jump ring. So obviously when it's 24, when I put it through, it becomes 12 inches, and that's pretty much sufficient, I think, in terms of the length. Knot it. Once again, you don't have to knot it, but I feel that it is better that I knot it just after the jump ring. You can also maybe just put a really cute little bead or something over there, but I just feel like knotting it might also be okay. Just making sure all the strands are straight before I put in that final wooden bead towards the end. So for the wooden bead, usually I always tend to do this. I open up the wooden bead a little bit so that it goes through, rather helps widening the hole a little bit, because this part is always a struggle. So, and it has to be, because it has to hold on to the necklace. So if you see, that's completely done. I love the way how the thread feels. So obviously once that's done, the ends are again knotted, and you can just trim the edges in order to get that tassel kind of all aligned. You'll see me just trim the tip of it. Probably it just gives a neater look. Now we assemble the earrings. These are just a bunch of gold metal hooks, and that's pretty much it. Doesn't this set look absolutely beautiful? It's very light, and also this pendant as well as the earrings are quite small. They're not large, or I would say they are somewhere between small to medium. That cord just blends in so well with the entire set. So I really hope all of you enjoy watching this video. Please do let me know what you think of it in the comment section, and as always, I'll get back to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for watching.